an incredible morning to you. Thank you so much for being a part of our show today. This is Super FM 93.3. If you're just joining me, yes, if you're just joining us and joining me anyway. Okay, so welcome to the Super Mid Morning, and it's Let's Talk right now on Super Mid Morning Show. All right, today on the Super Mid Morning Show, we are talking about rape victims and the stigmatization that follows. Rape victims and the stigmatization that follows. That's exactly what we're looking at today. How can we as a people help in reducing the level of stigmatization against rape victims? My name is Ijamamba Makomi Ida Sugar, and joining me this morning on the show to talk about this issue is Omalicha Isioma. She's a relationship expert, a therapist, and a life coach. She counsels people on relationship issues, marital issues, generally life issues. Good morning, ma.
Good morning, IJ. How you doing?
I'm perfect. Good to hear from you and good to see you as well.
Okay, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. Very good.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so let's get started. Now, apparently, there's this issue. This issue has been happening a long time, definitely. But then something happened recently, which would form our case study for the program today. So, an 18-year-old girl, I would want to just leave her name out of this. I mean, this story is sad enough already, so I'd like to just leave her name out of this, or let me give her a name. All right. So that my listeners can, just follow through. So let's just say, like I said, I don't want to call her real names. So let's say, let's call her Yinka. Let's just pick a name. Say Yinka. So Yinka was 18 years old, and I'm just going to read through the story. This story was posted by her aunt, whom she sent a mail to before she took her life. And it says, I'm too drained to respond to everyone, but thank you all for your condolences. It's going to be another sleepless night for me, but I truly appreciate the support. Okay, so now she explained that her 18-year-old cousin committed suicide because her family members were forcing her to give birth to her rapist baby, the story says. Now, the rapist is a family friend who lived in the family house. And following the rape incident, the family members made him leave the house, but didn't involve the police. Now, when they discovered their daughter was pregnant, they locked her up in the house, preventing her from getting an abortion. The rape victim left an email explaining to family members her motive before she took her life. And according to the tweet by her aunt, it says, my 18-year-old cousin took her own life last night. In the email she sent to me, she sent to some of us. She said she was raped by a family friend. Her parents let stay at their house. They didn't call the police. They let him leave. When they found out she was pregnant, they locked her in the house. And, locking her in the house was in a bid to prevent her from having an abortion because she didn't want to have the baby by the rapist. Now, this person was a person really close to the family, considered as a family friend who eventually raped her. So she felt safe around this person, which is the case with a lot of rape situations because from reports that we have gotten, most rape victims were raped by people close to them. So apparently they did not want her to have an abortion because the family did not believe in abortions, of which nobody would fault them anyway. It's their own belief. Every family is allowed to have their own values. And but she was sad, and then she was eventually locked up in the house so that she would not go out to go get an abortion. She eventually got really depressed and killed herself. And she was 18. So let me have you say something about this first, and then we'll look at certain issues here.
Well, it's it's a sad story. It's a very sad story because in this part of our world, we tend to stigmatize rape victims a lot. Okay, we have a rape culture where people we don't we trivialize rape, and oftentimes we tend to blame the victim of the rape and the rapist usually will go scot-free. There's no accountability. You can imagine 18 years old girl, as far as I'm concerned, she's a child, she's a baby. Someone raped her. They did not report the rapist to the police. They did not seek justice. They allowed the person to go scot-free and decided to lock her inside the house. Okay, that is really, really unfair. It's very, very unfair. Why did the family, why didn't they report the rapist? Because by not reporting the rapist, they are still endangering the lives of other young women that that young man will meet. Because you can't. There's a saying in Igbo. I can't say it in Igbo that a fowl that stays on top of the roof. If you take that fowl to America or London, the fowl will still go and look for the top of the roof to stay. A rapist is a rapist, and he raped someone, 18 years old girl. Why did they not report him to the police? Why did they keep quiet? Why did they allow him go scot-free? That is the number one question I'll ask, because right now, even her family, they are supposed to arrest all of them. Yes, because they are supporting rape. Then number two, why will you lock her inside the house? You don't want her to get an abortion, and you are locking her inside a room. And I'm very sure they must have been saying a lot of things for her to go down that part of really, really depressed for her to take her life. Okay, they must have been slut shaming her. They must have been telling her, you always put on skimpy clothes, you always put on this. You know, some of them, the parents would be like, why is it only you he decided to rape? Other people are there in the house, you know. Why is it only you? You don't dress properly. You always put on short clothes. You always put on this. You always walk about pium pium pium. And some of them will even go as far as saying that she was the one that lured him. She's the one that seduced him. Where did it happen? It happened in his room. Why did you go to his room? You know, why these people of them to face the fact that this person has raped her. Okay, so for me, I will say that Yinka's parents, that is our Yinka now,
Yeah.
her parents should be arrested. Yes, they should be arrested and they should be questioned. Why will they allow the rapist to go scot-free and decide to lock their daughter inside the room?
Okay, now let's look at an issue here. Why?
Okay.
What do you think about the family preventing her from having an abortion?
Well, personally, I am pro-life. I believe so much in predestination. Okay, life happens in. Okay, I have seen a situation. Okay, let me just go to Helen Paul. If you this morning, her pictures are everywhere on social media. If you've been privileged to listen to her story that she shared herself, not them say, I've
Yeah, I
listened to her
remember.
story. Yes, yes. She doesn't know her dad. Okay, her mom was raped. Her mom was raped by, I think, robbers. And today, look at her. She's living. She's doing well. Okay. And there are so many persons like that. I know of a situation of someone that was raped too. Okay. And she did not abort the pregnancy. And years later, even when she got married, she could not conceive. She started having issues with fertility. And that child, is that child now turns out to be her only child. Okay. So I believe so much in life. I believe in predestination. I believe that everything that happens, somehow the hand of divinity is there. Okay. So
Okay.
like Helen Paul now, she's now here like giving life and light to people. I'm happy that she did not hide her story. Some persons will hide their story, but she shared it to a lot of persons to encourage some persons that are in that situation right now.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't subscribe to abortion. I don't subscribe to abortion because life is life is can be funny. Okay,
Yeah.
something may even happen, and that little girl might be the only one that will stay with the grandparents. Okay, so I don't subscribe to abortion. If they wanted her to
No
really,
matter the circumstances.
no. I don't subscribe to abortion. I don't subscribe to abortion.
According to the Nigerian law, abortion can be
Okay.
allowed if in a situation where the mother's life is threatened. According to the Nigerian law, that's the only situation where abortion can be allowed.
Um, um, IJ, do you know abortion has effects too, side effects?
Yeah.
yes, abortion has side effects psychologically too. Okay, I know,
Okay.
of course, the lady will be traumatized when if she has a child, because Helen Paul said her mom abandoned her. Her grandmom was always calling her Omwale, which means in Yoruba language,
A bastard.
bastard. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but she was able to persevere, pass through all those situations, and today she's a doctor. All right. So I don't believe in I don't believe in abortion. Abortion has side effects, okay, mentally, psychologically, and even health-wise. Okay, peradventure she goes for an abortion and she loses her life in the process, or she has an abortion and she loses her womb. She has an abortion, she gets infected. Okay, she
Mm-hmm.
has an abortion too. Okay, she has an abortion. It has mental and psychological effects on the person, because I always tell people that abortion does not mean not having a child. It just means that you are the parent of a dead child.
Hmm.
Okay, so yes is a yes. Abortion, I don't subscribe to abortion, no matter the circumstances. That challenges brings out the best out of everybody, but oftentimes we try to run away from those challenges. Okay, you don't want to keep the child because you are aborted because of what people will say. Oftentimes is what people will say,
But
true or false.
apart from what people would say, let's look at her situation right now. She's not here anymore.
Okay.
She took her life,
Yeah.
because of these issues, because of what we're talking about right now. And some time ago, I also
Okay.
heard of a young girl about that same age that took her life,
Okay.
in a place where I was living before I came here. Happened in the community where I was staying then, and then it was on the news. So these are this is something that is happening, and people have to live with it. All right. So as we're talking about this today, apart from communicating with the family members of people who are rape victims, also the rape victims themselves, because they go through some challenges psychologically, mentally, having to do with the reality they have found themselves in. And then what still? A person gets raped and they even get pregnant by the rapist. That's a lot to deal with, because now the victim is not just dealing with the fact that they have been raped, they're also dealing with the fact that they are pregnant in this same predicament. How is a rape victim supposed to deal with an unwanted, expected pregnancy by a rapist? Let us just say,
I do.
fine. No, I get your point. Let us just say, fine. She's not going to abort it because it's going to mean taking a human life. But how is she supposed to deal with that reality?
She needs a counselor at this time. She needs someone that will counsel her. And that is, I keep on saying that a lot of Nigerians, we don't go for counseling. At that time, that person is really, really down. That person needs a professional counselor to talk to her. Okay, talk to even the parents of that girl, because some parents too they can be a handful. They can be very they can even push that child to depression. That's just the truth. Even if the child is trying to be strong for herself and the baby. Personally, anywhere I go to, I always tell people I believe in life. I believe, number one, that life should be preserved. Okay, that is a human being that is coming, and that soul chose you as the mom, despite the condition, despite the situation. Okay, so please, that is number one. The child, they should take that person for counseling. They should take the parents for counseling too, because it's a shock. Okay, the parents that did not expect the daughter to be pregnant at 18. The
Yeah.
mom will be disappointed. Obviously, she has prepared her gele. The
Mm-hmm.
dad will be upset too. So they need to prepare their minds, talk to them, and let them know that that is not the end of her life. That's not the end of her situation. Okay?
Yeah.
So that is what I have to say. They need to get a very good counselor. Now is not, because in Nigeria, yeah, any little thing, they'll run to the sorry to say they'll run to the church. But it's not church now. This is, you need a counselor, somebody that will counsel the parents, counsel the whole family. They shouldn't see her as um they shouldn't judge her by that. That's just how that is just a chapter in her life. That is just a page in the chapter in the book of her life. And definitely it will definitely pass. So the parents, they need counselors to talk to them. The girl, she needs a counselor to talk to her constantly to make her know that that is not the end of her life, so that she'll begin to see that child as a gift. She may not understand why that child has come to her life,
In
this
that manner.
in that manner. But years later, when you rewind back, when she will rewind back, she'll begin to see the reason that child came into her life. I just gave an example of Helen Paul.
Helen
This is a
Paul.
very beautiful Helen Paul, yes. And today she posted her pictures. Her pictures are everywhere. She's now a doctor in the US, and this is her story too. And she's doing well. And I'm very sure her mom will be proud of her. Okay, so personally, I don't believe in getting rid of the pregnancy. I want to give another example. Pastor T.D. Jakes, her daughter was, his daughter was not raped. Okay, his daughter was not raped, but she was pregnant when she was 14. And today, that whole experience has made her more mature than her age. She's married now. She has another daughter. She's married to a pastor now, but she's more mature. And even the dad attested to that. She's more mature. The whole experience made her more mature. Now she's a preacher too, and when she's talking from her own experience. She's talking from someone that has been wounded and now healed and healing other people. So people should not see that she has been raped. Does not That's not the end of her life. That is just a page in the book of her life. Definitely it will flip over. But what's the parents, how will they manage the situation? How do they manage her emotional state, psychological, her spiritual, and her physical? That will go a long way, because she may decide to be strong for her baby. But come on, locking someone up, 18 years old girl, in the house, it shows that she's going through a lot. Okay, it shows that the parents will be like, hey, they'll use vulgar words for her, abuse her, call her slut, shaming her. It's because of the way you dress. We've been talking to you. You've been walking pium 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 and all that. They will not go after the rapist, but they will just keep on blaming her and blaming her and blaming her. Why? Because of our society. Being raped alone is like a stigma, number one. Having a baby out of wedlock is another stigma, number two. So the parents will always be thinking of, what will people say? My reputation. And they'll put the whole frustration and anger on her. But getting an abortion is not the ultimate. It is not, for personally, it is not the way forward.
Okay, okay. So kind of you have touched in, most of the areas where I would have asked you some specific questions on, okay, about how the family has reacted to this and the fact that she was also locked up. And plus, I always wonder why rape victims are treated as the culprits. But you just mentioned, you stated
I don't
that
know.
it's mainly because of the stigma. So the
The
family,
stigma, yeah.
so because of the stigma, you have to look at the victim as the culprit. Isn't it funny? Isn't it alarming?
Okay, some about 2 years ago, 2 years, 3 years ago, okay, I did something about enlightening people about trying to break down this rape culture. It is in the society when a girl is raped, okay,
Yeah.
you'll find out that people will start joking about it. People will say, what was she looking for there? Well, how does she dress? You understand? So somehow we are being influenced by the society where we find ourselves. So it takes only those that are really, really strong, people that are people that have a mind of their own, to be able to break through some of all these influences that that have been imposed on us by the society. It
Yeah.
takes parents, even parents that are very enlightened, they won't take this rape lightly on their daughter. That's just the truth. Even parents that are very, very enlightened, they won't take it lightly on their daughter. They will always find a way to blame the girl and exonerate the
The rapist.
rapist.